off 20,000. There's 20,000 right here on the 17th. Nice move up 150 points and then the fail again. So yeah, to sit here and sort of go back and forth with some of these bigger names at this level, I'm going to pass for now on trading the TQs or anything like that. But we just do take advantage of that last little buy spot there. Sorry, yeah, 39 cents. So we bought 94s, out 29s there, 39 cents, whatever that math is. That's what we just got on that last little reload. That's nothing though. I'm not even, whatever, 40 cents still nice, but we're waiting for more shares. And then if it drops out, and we'll give back probably maybe 35% or so of what we're making, because we're trying to, we're trying to make something happen here. So let's see if we do defend VWAP, but we are very, very aware of what this market is indeed doing, which brings me over to, we could look at weaker names. Again,
there's none weaker than CrowdStrike.
Right, exactly.
So just very quickly, it just lost the 70 level. You'll see I was in it. It got back up to, you got 271, and then there was a bounce just about to like 270.50. It's hard to see because this has now moved like so many dollars, like $22. But we did get a bounce off 70. We were able to scalp some out. I reloaded it off 70 and then just took the hit on the 70 level. So it looks like it's not bouncing at all. The last 270 was no good. 75 gave a $4 bounce. This gave like a 70-cent bounce off that level. If you got anything out, congratulations to you, but certainly still to the downside. At this point, every $5 is in play for me. But 270 now gone over there on Crowd. There's a big wall here on, it's not showing up. There's a big wall here at 95 on Tel. I am in it at 94.8, but I'm going to make sure we can get that one seen. Again, just a dollar level. But CrowdStrike, to me, I'm just going to keep on this well. Like at some point, I'm not chasing this to the short side. Every $5 is worth it. The fact that it was able to hold pretty decently in here and try to bounce, it means to me there's going to be that opportunity. We just have to be able to find it. Certainly. This is looking nasty to the downside for Crowd.
Oh, man. I guess it's all about karma at some point, right? Look at NVIDIA here. Look at this thing go, 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 go. We just talked about where we're buying, right? We're buying right here. We bought the dip, and there it goes again. Wow, we almost doubled our net right here. Let's see if we can get going now as we take some more out on NVIDIA, man. We're just going to hit that one trade today. Back and forth again on NVDA, man. Buy the dips, and boom goes the dynamite. But we have to watch out because the market is still well below. So I am getting more and more out of this. We're still going to watch out for a 50 break because here it comes right back down. We're out of half now already of this reload. It's 10:05. We already had the huge monster move today on NVIDIA, and we had the whole thing. And now we're just adding and sort of just cherry on top, right there. So it's a huge move back up there for NVDA. And again, just on one symbol today will be where we need to be. So I want to thank you. We got a super chat for both of us here. So there it is right there. Thank you for NVIDIA. Hey, man, you are welcome on that one and your AMD short. So this trader held it. And is profitable on that trade. And I know Neil was in and out of that one. But again, the great idea, and that's what it's all about, right? Is like, we'll give you some of the ideas, and whether or not we're able to hold on to them as long as you guys are, is a completely different story. Sometimes we'll hold longer, and sometimes we'll hold shorter. So yeah, just play the momentum, especially if it's your time of day, right? You can get bigger moves early, and you may want to try to think about scalping out as the day goes on a little bit here, but with this NVIDIA trade, and again, thank you so much. Again, bang on that one. I already hit the like for you there on the super chat, so thank you for that. We've got a whole bunch of good ones today so far. Okay, here it comes. We take another piece out in the 90s on NVIDIA. I have another piece out of just above 122. It doesn't look like it wants to go right now. So what we're doing is we've already gotten it out. We've talked about that, but at the same time, you never like to take hits. You're going to not always have banger days and banger ideas. So when they stop working, and I can see here NVIDIA did have some problems at 122. So, look at all of these outs that we had here. We had so many shares there. We got out of so many early because it popped up. As soon as we got filled, almost like we were the indicator there, it got filled and then just ripped up. There we go. So now we're out. So we will hit a last... We'll flush them down the toilet because that's where they're going right now. NVIDIA shares breaking through 121.50. Now, whether or not that was the bottom, I don't know. But for me, we're out of it. And, we talk about being honest, have some integrity on the show and whatnot. I gave back less than 10% of my day on NVIDIA right there. So that, if I can't, now that's up, obviously, boo on that. But I can't do that any better. Take a shot on and basically a reload of almost the same shares as we had down there, and then to be able to only be down once it breaks. So that's pretty good. But looks like we might have just got broke down right there because that bounced specifically off the 50 period. I just had too many shares. I wanted to get out, but good little trade there for anybody on NVIDIA. Now let's on to the next.
Yeah, on to the next is, oh my goodness, it's nasty over there. Sorry, my chart just crashed. I have to set it up again. Just give me a quick little second here. I was trying to fix a wick on the chart, and I'm just going to have to deal with this silly wick on Tellurian. It's going to be really hard to see this, but brick wall 95, I'm short 95, but CrowdStrike is still falling. I know everyone wants to look at other places, but CrowdStrike just hit 265.
What?
And yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, like we're not even making this up. Like on Friday, or no, on Thursday, I was actually saying to Sean I was considering buying the stock the day before the outage.
Yeah, oh no, I remember that. We both talked about it.
I'm not making it up. We actually talked about it.
I'm going to buy it right now.
I was pretty close to doing it. I was about to say I'm probably going to do it in the middle of the day, like midday or something like that. I just feel like down another 12%. It's getting back into like this January level. Like in January, the bottom was $240. I just feel like that's a spot. But 265s we're at right now. It's trying to bounce off that 265 level. 38s is the local low. If it can hold here, just show me some kind of strength off 265, and then I can get engaged. And shout out to anybody that, if you held on to that AMD, great look. It ran that top, and I couldn't find my way back in. But we want to find our way back into CrowdStrike. This 265 looking very juicy. Another 13% is completely insane as far as I'm concerned. So it's getting pretty nasty here in CrowdStrike. If you got the short, I don't think you've had many reasons to get out of it. And if you're looking for bounces, you basically had to scalp your bounce plays. Because if you weren't doing that, you've been getting absolutely rinsed. Oh, and by the way, Tesla in that 250, tried jumping back into it. Is my chart going to load? There it is. So there's the wick above. So this is the setup I was looking for. There's the run at the double top for the lower high, and then right back in through 250. That's the setup that we're looking for. Just a little bit too slow to it, but it does set up potentially like a VWAP retracement. That's 248. The channel that we're in for Tesla, okay, 65 is about to run. The channel that we're in for Tesla is still holding this 48, 250 zone, which is what we wanted. So we can still look for that short, just don't want to be chasing too far on TSLA.
All right, we have a new trade idea right here. I agree with that. I mean, I think we want to buy some CrowdStrike down here for sure if we get an opportunity to do that. But right now, and I say for sure, but again, those of you that are potentially in the business, there, as I know your wife is as well, looking at security is, you're right, see, so you got to be careful with that because the thing is, this wasn't even a breach or anything, right? So, I mean, it's like, it just shows you, what if that was a hack? I mean, how bad would have it been? This is just a software rollout that did not go right. But we have a new trade alert here. It's going to be Broadcom again. I want to try to stay in the same place as, wait a minute, what's NVIDIA doing now? Yeah, so NVIDIA did break lower. Okay, so remember, we got out of that at 50s. We were feeling not that great when it bounced back to 90s right there. But I'm going to give Broadcom one more chance. Maybe the chips are not where it needs to be right now. We're long right here right now at 160.16. So nothing to worry about. But at the same time, we do want to make sure that we are able to get something out, especially if it goes back into the 70s. And I haven't traded this name pre-split yet. So post-split or pre-split. So this is going to be a new one for me. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens here with Broadcom. And again, it's going to look silly on our daily chart because we do not represent the splits properly. But there it goes. Since we've split over in the last couple of days, zoom back again on that. Sorry about that, guys. But let's just have a quick little look at what we're doing. We are still long. That name 159.50 is where we're going to get out. Yeah, so bad movements here from the split, but we've also seen NVIDIA hit to the downside. We've seen AMD hit the skids as well on that bad TSM report from last week. So I'm going to see if it can hold out the 50-period moving average. That is honestly all that we're doing right now is just trying to see if it can hold this out. Now, we don't have too much data because of the split, but this should still be accurate. We have more than 50 candles here on a 20-minute chart. So I'm looking to see if this holds 159.50 out. That was that dip right there. We'll see if it holds it. If it does not, we are out of Broadcom. So, that's 159. I don't want to hold it all the way to the end of the day, or sorry, to where we were at the open. So I'm going to probably just get out if we're wrong. And we could definitely afford that kind of a hit right here today for us. Yeah, so that's a new trade alert. So there is Broadcom. What else do we have on here? Obviously, Neil's just talked about CrowdStrike. We went over that. We had an ARM. Oh, in this little dip buy opportunity, are we getting one to buy ARM right now? So yes, we did. But we went to Broadcom, so I'm pretty happy with that. At the same time, these aren't the levels for me yet on ARM. So even looking at a 20-minute chart, we're still not there for me yet. I would like to get into 162. So that would mean that this Broadcom trade probably falls on its face. Intel, we already looked at that. We missed that buy opportunity, but we did talk about that at 32.75. And again, just for charting purposes here, this is what I looked at, and I was just, get out of here, Forex ad. Right there, oopsies, and there's another ad. Hey, what's up, ad? Right there, just past support, right? So past support becomes resistance. So there's support right there, and it's still holding, right? That's 33.35. So I was thinking a breakthrough there, we could get something, but it was more the dip buy area of 32.75 there, holding out for us on Intel. And we drew this, of course, pre-market. So that looks like it's been holding. And then look where we stopped at, 33.70, 33.35, which was that top end of the range. So Intel like a glove right here, just representing this Friday sort of area, top to bottom one more time. So yeah, in these chip names, that's what's good. Yeah, just to go over to some banks. I mean, we did talk about some Wells Fargo earlier today, and I was like, you know, before we threw over to Michael Nassi, I said weakness in the banks. I would take on this name, and I mean, look what this has done today. And this is not cherry picking. I was just calling up Wells Fargo because I thought we needed a change of pace from chip names, but there it is, downside move. So we kind of like this. I was talking about shorting it if you got the opportunity, and watch out for 56, 57. But here we go again. We're going to go 2 for 2 if we get out now. That's Broadcom starting to go back up to the upside right here. And another play that, again, we talked our way through this. We worked our way into this trade. And my gosh, there it is. It's a 30-cent winner now for Broadcom as we wait to get more out. Upside, 166. Do we get them both out right there? 160.64 just missed us. So it crossed, but we did not get the fill. Did we get it that time? Yes. Yes, we did. Bang, 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 bang. Man, what a day today, man. We're going to go 2 for 2. And we talked about what we're looking for. And we hit it now twice. So, hey, you're welcome, Rivian Millionaire, everybody there. Willis Addison, welcome. All that, man. Let's just see what happens with Broadcom. We're out of a third of it already there as we sort of got our target, man. We got VWAP, so a nice little take there, 160 up to 160.50, 160.60 was our out.
Yeah, great look there. And we're right back to the well as Crowd just made probably the most convincing candle, and I know because I was in it, that 265 didn't hold, but it's not huge volume. It's not the biggest volume of the day, but it is a big rejection underneath that 65, and then again 66. So we're now long off to 66. Got to remember the 270 big resistance, 273 as well. VWAP is sitting at 275. So I think we're all out of this if we get into the low to mid 70s on CrowdStrike. Again, the stock has been absolutely bleeding, but it has provided some good opportunities for bounce plays. I don't have the low here because it rinsed to 65 and then had to get in at the 66 level because that was the next available opportunity. I do see this, and we said this last week. It wasn't on my list this morning because there was no catalyst for Nike. But $74 on Nike, just very quickly, here is your 15-minute. Nike has finally made some kind of a bottom. It has yet to break this 74 barrier the last couple of weeks. So once, twice, like 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5 times, Nike has rejected the 74 level. I like 74.25 specifically for a level to work off of. If we catch that, I think it's a breakout for Nike. But we're right back at CrowdStrike on the next play, and that's 266. I have 266.25. If it can hold this higher low, I'm looking all the way into VWAP, and that includes some dip buying on Crowd. Tesla, we still want to look for the fade here. It just now, 2 seconds ago, got back to the 250. I look up, wait for it to retest 250, kind of miss us on the way down. If it gives us the same look, we're going to look to jump right back into that 250 short on TS to the LA.
TS to the LA, TS to the LL. Is
Nike was probably a buy last week, but
yes,
that's what it is.
Yes.
I wanted the break. I like the breakout to get into it, so I was kind of like, I'll buy it higher if it's strong instead of off support. Today? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just want to know. 73. Okay. So, yeah, we did buy. So last week we were lucky enough to buy. I mean, I told you right on the show, we bought it at lunchtime. I think both of these names were like Wednesday, Thursday, but they whatever it was the same day. So I don't think we're necessarily in the money too much here on Nike, but we did buy some last week. We talked about it. That was 72 and change. Nice little rebound for NKE. again, just adding it. These are for the long term. These are not swing trades. I'm trying to hold these. And we've been in and out of Starbucks a bunch in our life, but I didn't have any shares. And we had recently, I don't like the fact that we're down 4% today. We know this stock is not great. We're waiting for that next release to come through to see where Starbucks winds up falling out. But we bought some of this again last week, same kind of levels, but this was at 74. So we got some long 74.50s or so. Nice move up there on activists. But again, it's for the longer term. And we had mentioned this right live on the show that if you were trying to get in and out of this name and you bought that for a swing trade, you can't expect 10% there in one day. So I feel like that would have been a great spot. Yeah, hopefully. That might have been a good spot to get out.
I said that jokingly.
Yeah. If you were trying to look for more Starbucks, I think you can dip by some of these opportunities. All right, Broadcom, we are now out of more than half. It just came back up into view up again. So we did have a little bit of a dip down. We did get it again into 50. So we got 2 orders at 50 out, 1 order at 65 there. And so we're going to wait. This still could turn out to be a relatively flat, if not red trade, because if we break back down below 159.50, that would signify about a 50-cent loss, give slippage. Again, I don't know what the slippage is going to be, 60 cents on half when the most we got was 60 cents. So we'll see if this one can remain a positive trade for us. My next offer is at 161.50. So let's just see if the market wants to hold. I keep on looking back at Nvidia because it's kind of bouncing off levels that I've liked. We've talked about this. Like, look at that move right back to 122.50 right there. Oh, by the way, Nike's still going. That's probably
did it break the quarter yet?
A great trade on that one. So Nvidia still trying to hold out. But again, I think we have to get this 121 if we're going to do anything. I just don't trust it because you never put on enough shares. No matter what you put on here, how much am I going to put here? Because unless I put on half of that trade, my stop is still going to be here at 121. So I'd rather not lose everything by trying something right here. I really like that dip opportunity. Maybe we should have given that up. Maybe we should not have given that trade up right there.
All right, here's
Amazon coming back in. Yeah, what?
It's put up or shut up time for CrowdStrike if it can get through 270. Because if we're going to get to, if you go 65.70, if it holds 75, I think we get. Sorry, if it holds 70, I think we get a chance at 75. But this would be that spot. The problem with 270s, remember, this was the overnight Friday low. So my theory of trading, generally speaking, is on big stocks and big gaps, support turns into resistance. So a fail here by my rule, it's a bounce off 65. If it fails 70, I get out on the way back through. So it is running into a brick wall at $270. Here. There was a refresher up in the 90s. I still see them. If it breaks 70 and fails the break, I'll probably get out on the back end here through 69.5. It needs to hold a higher low. It just had the bid for about 2 seconds and then slammed right back down. So I think this is definitely the battle spot for CrowdStrike. TEL just started working, sliding into the downside. I got a tag at 94. I'm on the bid 93.5. I'm on the bid at 93 on that name. But CrowdStrike right here, this 269.5 is probably going to trail me out. Yep, there it is. So we just trailed out 269.5. We're going to ring the register on it. Definitely sellers at that big 270. Nice. We liked it for a long at that price. We're going to jump out of it and maybe look for the next available trade on Crowd. As we go to the small cap recap, and let's talk some Mira apparently, because that stock's going with Adara.
Bit of a change in pace here for the IWM, actually down on the day. We're down here about 0.25%. Once we broke below that support area earlier today, around 217.50, 217.60, fell pretty steadily, trying to climb back up here for the Russell 2000. Starting off here with a day 2 play, it's going to be SERV, Serve Robotics. This one up about 80%. Nvidia did disclose a stake in the company last week. They have roughly 10% of the company shares here for SERV. Next up, we have CareMax, CMAX. Not seeing any news on this one, up over 100%. We do have a short float of around 7.6%. Total float of under 3 million shares. Last but not least, we have to talk about Mira Pharmaceuticals, MIRA. This one also up more than 100%, announcing some new preclinical study results for its oral ketamine treatment here. So MIRA, this one also has run in the past. Guys.
Ketamine, huh?
Tesla, yeah, you give that to your, was it horses?
Isn't that?
All right.
That's what
I don't know. I have to ask Aaron Rodgers. All right, so here we go. A nice little Oh, it is horses. Okay. Yeah. Or I think it fights COVID as well, apparently. Okay. 183 possibly for a downside move here for Amazon. So it is going to be a new position. So we've got
another one.
We're only going to have 3 today.
Another one.
And
another one.
So far today, man, we have Broadcom. Not doing too much. We have Amazon right now. It's a starter position. Let's see what happens right now. So let's talk about this real quick. I'm out of this if we break this. We wrote down here on our sticky note, and again, we're not going to be able to nail every single level. We wrote down 182 long for a dip buy for Amazon. So that really came through early, but it stopped at 182.75. So in this sort of disaster open, maybe for the NASDAQ, which was right there, we got it all back. But now you're coming back into these levels again. So I'd like to see if we do hold that bottom, because once we did, we ripped up about $2, or I guess a flat dollar. I guess we didn't break through 185. That's 182.80. Yeah, so we did get to 184.80. So yeah, so we did get $2 back to the upside. So let's just sit here and test it. My next reload's at 183 flat. Then I'm going to reload that bottom and give it like 10 cents. No, I'm not, like I said, not throwing the money that we've made on 2 ideas here when the market's doing this. I would much rather see either a test down here, which is what we're going to wait for Amazon to get that long, or either a break and then we completely flip up our sort of thought here on everything. So here comes Broadcom. That just really came in. Where was my stop, man? I thought I was going to get stopped down here. Yeah, breakthrough 50 and we're stopped. So I don't know even, what was that fill? What was up with that fill? 70s. Okay, so it just came in. So again, with the spread, yeah, like that just came in real quick. Looks like we probably will get stopped out here. I mean, again, I don't know. We'll see. We are long right here at 88s. If we're able to get something out in the 80s, let's take advantage of that. So here comes 79s again. Little back end trade here. If we can get back going, that'd be nice. But you could see here, seems to be getting hit in the chip space. Nothing happening with Nvidia, but it does look like it's going to be Broadcom coming back in there. And we already got thanked for that trade. But again, got to take it out where you guys see fit. We already took out half and we just reloaded it. So that could be a red trade, as we've discussed before. Looks like AMD's trying to hold out. They just had a dump as well. So if you like AMD a little bit better with the volume and the spread.
NVIDIA is the strongest one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we nailed NVIDIA being the strongest one today. It was the only one that we were going to look at. But Broadcom comes back. There we go. We get an 88 fill on that name. So put a little bit more money in our pocket. Now let's just protect this last long that we had. So we just got dipped in there. We took some out there at 88. We got a 60. What did I say the fill was? 68 or 69? Yes. And then we got out at 86. So not bad, or 88, sorry. Not a bad little take there, as now we're starting to get back up to the upside. How many shares do we have? Okay, we have enough. Let me see if we could take something out and cross in here and get another piece out in the mid 90s. And then we'll see where we go. So far, so good here on the Broadcom reload. We got a good trade here on the Amazon position as well. As there goes Amazon right now, hit the sirens up. Where are we waiting for this one? We're waiting at 67. We just stopped at 50. So we'll take that out here if we can on Amazon and see if we can make it a 3-for-3 day here at Trader TV. It's 10:25. The fun has just started. It's a gap and go kind of day on the midday. So we're going to find out about gap fills right there. But the only gap we're trying to fill. Yeah, we're trying to fill that gap in our credit card statement right now and paying some of these bills. So let's get going now, back up to the upside, and let's hope that we can get a move here on Amazon. So we just missed that fill. I'm now at 50s. That's my bad. We should have been at 50s in the first place. So now we're there.
Yeah, it looks like we might have, the bid just came in again on Crowd. It wasn't exactly where I was kind of anticipating. I thought we'd get another run at 266 down here where we got the last long. It just held 267. So the stair step is going on. You're not a VWAP yet, so I still think it's in play. Just have to find another entry, maybe a double bottom. I just want to see it make a double bottom or give me the same level we had before, which was rinsing in here and give us, yeah, it looks like 267 is going to be it. So I got to be patient with it. Oh, I'll just give you a quick little update on what we are in. That wick is still there, so let me zoom way in. Not a complicated idea. I don't expect fireworks at a tell. It showed resistance at 95.5, so I shorted 95. It just hit 94. Bids down into the current low of the day, which is 93.4 on Tellurian. Sorry, I couldn't hold that one. Just a little sneeze there, actually. For you. I couldn't hold it. Nvidia is still looking strong. Tesla, I did try to get back in. We showed you guys that 250 swing and miss, old man hands. did not get this 250, but you are holding underneath VWAP now. I'm not looking flat bottom break, but another lower high, similar to what we saw here. Lower high, fail break, and then 50 becomes a level. Lower high, fail break, 248 becomes a level on Tesla. So it's still CrowdStrike looking for that lower high bid off maybe 67s to play into VWAP, or see if we can't work into another short here on TSLA. 3% up, but suddenly looking a little bit weak as the market is certainly giving some back. It's that failure of 20,000 that happened on the NASDAQ that turned things here. Like everything was looking pretty strong, and now you've got this stair step to the downside that we are looking to join. Crowd now back through 270, but there's still that same seller at that spot. So we've got to be patient waiting for this VWAP test. It hasn't really held under VWAP until just now on Tesla. This is starting to give it up pretty good. I'm just going to pivot to Rivian and see if I see a trade there. Have to be patient with Tesla. What do we see with Rivian? I generally like this one as well if it's going to hold underneath VWAP. So it's rejecting a top break, 1730, and holding under VWAP. Yeah, I can go for either one of these. Right now, I'm not getting the fill I want on Tesla, and I'm not going to chase it. So I might have the chance to consolidate under VWAP with Rivian, which is adjacent to it.
I like all of those trades. We also like, Rivian, we should be looking at Rivian too. Tesla.
It's up too.
Yeah, I know. Nvidia really starting to go, man. I mean, wow. Okay, wow. Could have got back into this one, and we, should have done that for sure. We really like Nvidia. It's going to be what's paying the bills here today. And, we should have been back in, and we dropped out of it $1 ago. So on that one. But like I said, we only gave back 10% of what we made on this whole move up. So pretty happy, needless to say, with the performance today. And I mean, look what's happening to Broadcom right now. This is another 40-cent winner. So again, on a name that we don't normally trade, I'm pretty happy with what we've been able to do for this name. And that is, of course, Broadcom. So we'll look to see if we can get something else going there with that. Amazon, okay, there's the fill that we waited for. We actually had 2 orders there and didn't realize it. So we take doubles out right there into the 70s. So yeah, man, we just talked about it right there. It's another 3 for 3 day, right? We were 7-1 or whatever on Thursday, something similar on Friday. And then there it is right now for Amazon coming back in. So the trades that we've had today so far, 120 long right there on Nvidia. Then again there, big trades. We had Broadcom long. I mean, that's a winner. We can't lose now because we re-added to it and then got out. And then Amazon right now is 50 cents in the money. Take it if you like it. We've already got out of half. We'll wait to see if Amazon can get going up to 184.50. So yeah, right now, that is sort of what it is right now as we just continue to be trading off of our sticky note today, although we did add Broadcom, but missed out on holding out on Amazon, Nvidia. But you know what, Neil? There goes Amazon. Nice move to the upside here. Are we going to get, and we got to go to Adara, I realize that. Are we going to get VWAP? Probably. 183.80, 184, 184.20 upside for AMZN. Let's do that, man. Let's shoot the moon here and see if we can get it on Amazon. We're holding 2 40-cent winners as we go over to Adara for crypto updates.
An exciting story here that's been a long time coming. On Friday, we did have the CBOE, Chicago Board Options Exchange, confirming that the official launch date for these Ethereum ETFs, spot Ethereum ETFs, is going to be tomorrow, July 23rd. So the ETFs we have are starting, they're going to be the 21 shares, Core, Fidelity, Invesco, Galaxy, Van Eck, and Franklin. So keep an eye on those spot Ethereum ETFs as of July 23rd, to be tomorrow, Tuesday. In terms of Bitcoin here, this one definitely running into some resistance around that 68,000 area, now actually below 67,000, just barely, after 3 straight days of upside. So Bitcoin continuing to try to grind higher here after hitting those 54,000 lows, running into that area of support for a little bit here. So not too much to report, just testing a little bit below these lows after that 68,000 area. We have Ethereum here down a little bit right now on the day, at around that 3,400 level, a little bit of weakness as well in BNB, but a lot of strength in Solana, up 3%, Ripple up about 4.23%, Dogecoin up about 3%, Avalanche up about 5%. So then we do have some weaker flat names, quite a few names trading significantly to the upside to kick off the week, guys.
So I guess they want to sell the news on this because, I mean, you're seeing a failure of 35,000 pretty cleanly here. Stair step to the downside. I'm talking, this is ETH This is actually the spot quote for ETH here at Real Trading. We got the real. You can look at the ETFs when they come, obviously, or you can just go right to this name. Not going to be catching any falling knives. We've seen this story before where you are selling the news. In fact, just very quickly, Rivian made this failure up at Thursday's high, not Friday's. You know, if we weren't looking at CrowdStrike, probably might have had a shot at that. But yeah, back underneath the breakout 1710 level. And we're short here just in front of 17. So if it breaks VWAP, we want to be able to get out. And we're going to play this down into the close was 1675. So that makes a nice, reasonable target for us. Tesla, we pivoted there because Tesla is not really giving any opportunity off of VWAP. So Tesla stair step down off that 250. We want to try to short the pop. If it bounces, I'd look for a fail of 248 and try to short it on the way back in. So we're just still in that Tellurian short. And now just adding Rivian to the list in lieu of Tesla temporarily. CrowdStrike, yeah, there hasn't been another dip to be able to grab. You had to take that at 67. I didn't really have a reason to get in at 67 outside of this is what it showed you. And now that we're close to VWAP, might not get another crack at this. So the frustrating thing for me is I did not get 2 cracks at 65. I ended up with a 66 long instead of a 65 long. The first 65 long, there's a stop out, and we didn't get back in till it had already gone $1. And we did double up in there, but it's frustrating because 65 is that every $5 play, and it is going to give VWAP, but all you can do is move on to the next opportunity. I'm happy with Crowd. I just think we could have been a little bit faster on the keys. I always had a level 2 dedicated to it. But, you know, you're looking in the wrong spot for a quick little second, or you look down, maybe confirm your keys. That's all it takes. It just takes one little moment. All right, here comes Rivian to the downside. Don't know if we're going to get that shot at Tesla again. But Rivian doesn't even have a green candle. Okay, it's got this little tiny green candle in here since rejecting the high break. So a play back into pre-market lows, I think, makes a little bit of sense.
So just a quick little look here, and I'll get to your question, Nimin, in a second. But I took another piece out at 60s here on Broadcom. Just wasn't breaking. We already bought that dip opportunity. We already missed the Nvidia reload long. Doesn't look like Broadcom wants to have that same action off of that level. So we puff, and pass on that. And well, we didn't. We just have a very small piece left. We have 10% left of that one. Let's go for another chicken dinner winner, man. We're going to go 3 for 3 and be real happy about it today because, again, we're coming back refreshed off the weekend, big weekend, lots of fun stuff, good news stories in the market today, and really just hit what we wanted to hit. And that's to me is what trading's about, hitting stocks that you want to hit. Like that's it. Like it's make the trades because all of us, as I look at this chat, right, there's some of you SMCI, some of you trading whatever serve is, all of these different things, man. Even some of you are like, yo, what's up with Palantir? SMCI. And I left that hat on my rack to bring in today, and I forgot it right there because we keep on, should be here, I should be putting it on. And Palantir is another stock that I always trade, always, and we always look for this dip buy. And geez, man, oh no. And you guys want to talk about something here.
Oh no.
Here's sticky notes from last week. Palantir dip buy 27.75 all over the place on those dip buys from last week. And why would we say 27.75? Well, looky. It dropped in again today. So there is another missed opportunity for your boy. But you know what? Spill milk, baby. 70 cents on Amazon right now. The day's high by far number one stock is Nvidia here. So we're really happy with that. And missed opportunity on Palantir. So those of you asking, where's the dip buy? Check sticky notes from the last week when we had 27.75 written on it every single day. And we also had this trade. My bad. Lazy hands maybe, but again, with Palantir up here today, it was at $29. Like the market was up 1%, did not expect a move back down 1.5% in our face with Palantir. So that's a trade that definitely threw me off, but there's the level again. All right, Nimit, you asked, man, and Perplexity answered. I'm not trying to show you guys like anything other than what you don't already know. I just asked Perplexity for some of the major Bitcoin ETFs. That's right. So you asked Nimit, what are some possibilities for names? I have no idea what these names are going to be. You know that ETHE will stay because Grayscale kept this one. And then look, when I'm looking at this, man, like these are all the main ones. So I would say you'd get ARC-E probably would be one name for sure because this is the Bitcoin ETF ARC-B, so I would think ARC-ET or ETH or I don't know, something like that. But like how to know IBIT and all these things, I have no idea. So I was just going to say to you, thanks for the question.
You can put a poll up and then we can submit and just ask what the ETF.
Yeah, like what would be cool ETF?
Yeah, what would be a cool name?
Yeah, that could be something. But I actually wonder too, Nimit, like put in the chat there. And I only called this up because for content reasons, we don't want to talk about it.
IBIT's easy.
No,
like
but why? But
I don't know
why
what
ask
you'd call
the question is what I was wondering.
I don't know what else you'd call it.
It's just. Oh no, but I'm just asking like why for Nimit? Like he's like, please, if there's any insight into this. I just wonder why. Sometimes we bark up different trees that we don't need to be. So I just want to know what the interest is there, Nimit, and what you're possibly thinking, because it's not like you can buy options on these things if they don't exist yet. So
I was never a tree.
Yeah, so I don't know. For me, there's I don't even remember what it's called, but there's ETH something, the Canadian one, the grayscale, whatever the grayscale one is in Canada.
It's ETHC.
Yeah, I know it's BTCC.B. So
no, it's ETHC.
ETHC. Okay, so same. So that could be something. So this is the Canadian one. We were one of the first, nations, to solidify Bitcoin sort of an ETF like this. So that's right. And so that was a good thing. I thought that maybe that was a nail in the coffin when that happened, because of course when marijuana was first initiated around here, stocks went to the other side. All right, 122.60 right now. But anyways, BTCC has been a good one as that gets back up to highs. But I think a pretty expensive management fee. So watch out for that. WFC still going lower as well. We've already cleaned out a lot of our trades now. It's 1040. Damage, no damage done whatsoever, but damage for the positive side indicated there. It's funny that we talked about WFC randomly, and I was like, yeah, WFC's down. That's right. Right now, this is one that we were talking about. And then it was just like, oh yeah, Sean, that's a nice story. And since then, it's been up about 80 cents straight up to the upside. We stayed clean away from it. Oh my, our net rate now is starting to get cooked up here a little bit because Amazon now 60 cents in the money and trying to break higher right there. Look, we got nervous about this, man. No lies about that. We kept on resisting this 50 break, but now we're trying to get higher. Oh, wow, there it is, 70 cents now on that one as we hold out for Broadcom. So it's a one banger, it's a two banger, and it's three today. 3 trades, 3 for 3. If it was, if you're looking for a couple quick trades, I think these are them. We've already hit our deal. We've already passed our daily goal easily. It's 10:40, an hour into the day. So this is part of, Brendan and I, we all talk about this, that sort of that Freedom and Wealth podcast that we talk about. There goes Amazon, by the way. We are now out of that trade as it cleans up. That's almost $1 right there. We got out ahead of the 50-period moving average, the 200 period. That's a trade for me. 10 times out of 10, we're now out of Amazon. But this is that sort of that advantage that day trading gives you, being able to get in and out, make that money, and now go do a job that pays you everything, where you don't need to gamble every single day. But that's day trading. It's for the spoils comes the riches, or whatever it is. Lots of different opportunities every single day. And I hope that you are watching and can understand that we're here to take advantage of some of those for you every single day. That's a lot of talking, and I promise I'll give it back to Neil when we get back from Adara at the big screen.
Go Nike.
NASDAQ here up more than 1% of the day. It's really reflected in the tech side of things on this board. We have pretty much all these electronic technology names strongly to the upside, most notably chips. Then on the technology services side, we've got Meta, Microsoft, Google, all strongly to the upside. CRM and Netflix as well. Netflix coming off day 2 of earnings after selling off on day 1. But it is worth noting the one red name in this group, CRWD, continuing to sell off after that system outage we had on Friday, and then getting some price target decreases and downgrades from analysts. Good look for a lot of these tech names. Finance pretty strong here across the board. Lots of strength as well in producer manufacturing, health, consumer durables, a little bit of upside as well in this retail. Verizon strong, but a miss here in operating revenue.
Adara just didn't get the message there. We don't mean to interrupt her, but her mic was cutting out.
The mic is cutting out.
So we'll get that fixed. We were having some audio issues. As you guys know, we brought someone in for that, and I feel like it's gotten a lot better right there.
Hey, man, batteries, they die. It is what
those batteries are as cold as my hands and feet are, but hopefully,
it's warming up now. It's warming up now. I think I'm feeling a little bit better in here. But just very quickly, with the market retesting that 20,000, we shorted once, 1703 a couple times in here. Sorry, first time we actually got this low with 93s, and now we're bouncing back into VWAP, so back into Rivian. Nike is holding. I kind of said go Nike at a sort of like the corner of my mouth there as we're going to Adara. So Nike with the consolidation over that quarters level. So 74 break, above the quarters, 74.20 in here. It's trying to hold this higher low. It feels like, hey, you're buying it a little bit high if you try this consolidation, but it's just about this. There is your resistance. Since it got destroyed, support to resistance at 274 and a quarter. So holding above that, I think, would be a bullish sign. So you're getting a dip back in. We get underneath 74.20. And I would be out of this trade, but we're finally going to get in on the bid of Nike. If you got a VWAP retracement, I mean, that's so far ago that there's no point worrying about it. It's just 74.20 just recently holding. Let's give it a second crack back at the screen with Adara.
Sorry about that, guys. We do have to finish up this segment talking about some weaker sectors. Communications here, we have Verizon, VZ, to the downside after a total operating revenue miss. Keep an eye, though, on AT&T in this sector as well because they report earnings later this week. Also, some weakness in energy minerals with XOM and some others to the downside. Consumer non-durables a bit weaker as well, but generally, tech and finance very strong today, guys.
Those tech bros. All right, so... Yeah, we're just, we were just sort of putting out a tweet here about some of the trades that we had today because we want to make sure that everybody can understand sort of what's been happening in the market. It hasn't been completely the easiest market today, but if you were very, very patient and were able to buy off VWAP and you had the right names in your pocket, right? I mean, one disappointing name, and I didn't take it, and I kind of feel glad that I didn't, and that was this retracement. So... I'm not in it, so it's good. But like, I would have thought Tesla could have had a good chance to hold that VWAP. So if you are playing VWAP retracement plays, that's a play that I really like. And I didn't take it, and I don't really know why. I think I was too distracted by other names. But we were saying that we were looking for, some Tesla love there. So a nice move up. Generally speaking, I would love this retracement back in there. So I could see a lot of traders, or at least someone that trades similar to like I do, on pullbacks and looking for key levels and things like that. This to me should have held and didn't. So again, not in it, but that's an area right there for me anyways, little bit of a concern if you are looking at Tesla right there on that kind of a break. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. I could definitely have seen a hit there at 248 because it did go down to that 247, 246, and that was that bottom here, 246 area. So I could definitely have seen some traders get stopped out there. So I just wanted to say that would have been one that did not work on a strategy very, very similar to what we've been doing. So.
Yeah, it held that. Is that 46 even?
Yeah, so I held it clean. I mean, that looks great on the chart.
Yeah.
I think we'd like that again if it comes back.
That's one of those.
We'll see.
46 was that bottom previously.
Yeah.
So you go from support to resistance back to support for Tesla. All right, so Nike's going. All right, Nike, there's the break. It was just on a 15-minute for Tesla. I'll pop back over Nike. We were able to get it. While Adara was talking, it pulled right back into the 30s. So there's your higher low off the quarters. It happens to be 18. It just tried to break through the top and kind of stopped exactly at the high, which is 74. I have 43 as the high of the day. I thought I saw a wick higher than that, but it's trying to go. If we get to the 3-quarter mark, we're going to like it as well. If you're still watching I'm still watching CrowdStrike. If you still are, it didn't quite get to VWAP. I'd say that's close enough. So the next stop, I don't necessarily want to be short this at a non-key level. So let's let it calm down a bit. There's always a chance you get a double tap of the bottom. Yet on Friday, there was one bounce, and this was so much different on Friday. Like there was one bounce at the open off 280. Here, it's like every even dollar you had to be willing to get out. Ultimately, you got good moves, but you had to scalp each one of those for the 5 or whatever it was going to give you. Much different from yesterday's trade. And let's be real, it is a downward trending stock. We haven't found our way into any shorts. A double tap of 266 or 265 is the only way I'm jumping back into the long on this name. So Nike, hopefully it can go here. No guarantees whatsoever, but it is already starting to pull right back into our entry spot. Going to look for just a consolidation off this top for another break in NIK. And you know what? We haven't even looked at this. I had this on the back burner on Apple. It's 1% to the upside, but look very, very closely in at, it's like 229 here if we zoom it back in. So we haven't really gone to 229. This is the only level I had marked off, but you failed underneath this twice. If we don't hold 20,000, my thought was to fade pops on Apple, but I just had a couple of other names that we thought would be bigger opportunities. You're failing double top here at 228. I like this one as a short if we're not getting above 20,000. And I don't know that we're going to get this high again on Apple. So I am looking toward this one for a fade play. If we get the high of the day false break, sure. Maybe a VWAP short during lunch would be in play. But I was bearish on this, given that 229 and the $20,000 level on the NASDAQ. But we're still at 19,999.99. So we haven't determined whether we're holding underneath. If we are, looking short on Apple underneath VWAP. So for now, we're just in Nike. We're in Tellurian potentially all day. So nothing exciting there. It's 95 to 94. If it breaks down, we'll maybe get some 93s and 92s.
All right, so good little breakdown.
Now
There's a couple of names for sure. Is it hot in here? Okay, turn it.
Now
turn
I'm,
it cold.
now
turn
I'm
it.
hot. Like,
I jacked up the heat. I mean, I told
it was
everyone
cold. Now it's hot. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just go fix it, Sharif, or whatever you want to put it to. It was 22, which is still fine, but that's a little cold. It was like 22 is like 73 or so maybe. All right. So well, yeah, get that going again. I don't even know how high I put it. What did I put it to? 24 and 23. Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. Just a quick little review there. I mean, we just picked Amazon because it was past resistance, so we got out right there, and now it looks like a really good move by getting out. I was not sure when we took that fill at 118.50. Sorry, 184.15 right there, as we confuse it with our Broadcom trade. There's our out. We are now out of Amazon, and again, big stock, big alert right there. Broadcom still holding, waiting for a bigger high right there, and Nvidia chilling out brings us a perfect opportunity to discuss what's for lunch. All right, today's lunch, very, very simple. I mean, you know, it comes in very, very simple form. Most people will know exactly what this is, of course. Comes from the homeland, and it's okay. It's not my favorite dish. My mother makes a great one for sure, and I feel like it's more of a dinner than a lunch, but today's lunch, what is for lunch today is chicken cacciatore. So not bad, a little bit of a chicken stew there. So we'll see how that comes through. Yeah, for me, we'll see what's on our salad. My guess, pieces of chicken. Will be on there, but that is
however did you come up with that?
I don't know. I mean, it could be tuna as well. That's what's for lunch. All right, so yeah, a little chicken cacciatore. So that's a little nice right there. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. All right, so Broadcom. Just because we only have 10 minutes left, I may not look. When we were in Nvidia and we told everyone to go to the beach, we're glad that we didn't because we put on 2 more winning trades since then. And already? Now, we're still a little early for that segment. Come on. But right there, 159.50. Oh, thank you. All right, so 159.50. She said we can go whenever our heart desires.
I know.
So you'll stay for a couple more minutes up there, Dara. All right, 159.60. If we drop below that, then we will get out. So that's Broadcom down there at 159.50. Amazon is still in the pocket for us. I can look at some more trades for you guys. I mean, Neil's been really focusing.
Cacciatore.
Yeah, exactly. Cacciatore.
No, that's what Hamster just put it in there. I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. I've never. We try to stay not political. Cacciatore is in like Tory.
Oh, Cacciatore. Yeah, when you mentioned that, I was like, Joe.
You went Joe Tory, which is fine too.
Anyways, there goes CrowdStrike again off of VWAP. So that was a great VWAP short. We should have just looked over there. This is our trade again. Fading VWAP, I mean, that's the trade there, and you had to have been looking at it. All right, without too much more to go, it's a Dara at the desk.
DXY virtually flat on the day here, on a day where we have very little economic data to parse through. This morning at 8:30, we got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index coming in higher than expected, 0.05 versus the forecast of negative 0.09. So above the expectation here, but below the previous print of 0.18. We do have some bill auctions coming later today, 6-month and 3-month here at 11:30. And we also do have Kamala Harris at speak at 11:30, so keep an eye on that. And potentially that has anything moving here with the DXY. But it's worth noting, no Fed speak on the docket for this week. We're during the quiet period ahead of next week's Fed meeting here, FOMC meeting with decision for rates set to be announced on July 31st. So that's definitely on watch. Also on watch ahead of that meeting, we have the quarterly GDP preliminary print for Q2 coming in on Thursday, and the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE, coming on Friday. So keep an eye on those prints as we head into that FOMC meeting next Wednesday, guys.
That's why the weed names are moving. I didn't realize that Kamala would be speaking today. I don't know. This could also just be in reaction to the news. She doesn't have to be speaking today. Right. It could just be in reaction to her, in theory, being at the top of the ticket. I mean, at this point, I think everybody's assuming that. So CGC 11%. I haven't looked at Tilray. I'm just pulling this up now for the first time, and pretty strong move. So if you look at, we talked about the potential unwind of the Trump trade. Well, I guess there's the engagement of, I'm not going to call the weed names the Kamala trade, but certainly I can't think of another reason why they're up. Let's just leave it at that. If you're trading this, VWAP has already held, so I think maybe go back to like a pull into previous high. That's like 780 in here. See what it can do. Maybe breaking an 8 top. Nike's still chilling out a little bit, and Tel's doing pretty much what it was doing the last time I looked at it, which is hanging down around 94. Reddit got a good bounce here and is trying to hold a breakout. So, Reddit kind of fell on Friday. Now you have a nice little upward trend. I don't know if I prefer this over Nike. You're getting a break of a high and a consolidation over. I just feel like Nike's consolidation over is at a more significant price level. Obviously, it's come down pretty hard, but I just prefer Nike over this level, trying to fill in a gap into 76 potentially, than Reddit. So we're in Nike, but Reddit in the midst of a breakout. Worth looking at that one as well. So shout out to you, Rohit. I know you're watching that one pretty closely. You got ACB moving about. So the weed name's certainly going to be in play. Maybe look for some dips in the middle of the day and see if you can't grab that trend to the upside. Is that what I really... Space moving?
Yeah, it's moving. It's up a little bit here. It's up 5%. It just touched $7 and got faded out from there. So that was a great short for anybody that had that. A nice little volume spike of over 1 million shares coming through there.